conversation today. My name is Nelium Leleo. I'll be your moderator today for the topic required skills for tech transition. I am joining from Tanzania. I would like to hear from you guys. Where are you joining from? A little bit of my introduction. I am environmental engineer by profession, working for Tanzania Rail Corporation, where we're building the a rectified standard gauge railway. So you can see how fancy it is to be in this topic, which is about technology. But also, I am co-building Mazingira Smart Tanzania. Mazingira Smart is an initiative that's aimed to ensure a safe environment for cleaner, greener, and healthier future through community engagement and innovative solution. But also, I am a mentor to a third-year environmental engineering student from Ardhi University, as well as I am a member of Tanzanian Women Actors for Humanity, where we are aiming to promote decent shelter for all the Tanzanians and alleviating poverty to all the marginalized community in Tanzania. Today we have a guest, and today we'll be having a session which is required tech transition for technology, tech skills for tech transition. Yeah. So I'll be happy to see you guys on the comment section. You tell me where you're from. As I've said, I'm from Tanzania, and I'll be happy to hear from you guys. Where are you joining from? And you can tell us what are your expectations. Why have you joined this session? As I've said, for me, this session is very important as I'm going to learn a lot of tech skills, all the skills required for tech transition, which is very important as we are going that we are trying to change our ways of doing things. Currently, we are using technology and we want to do different things that are in a technology way. Today, our key speaker is SEMIRA YESUFU, and she's a product designer. And I would like to, oh, thank you, Caroline. I can see that we had Caroline from Nigeria has joined us. So guys, you can keep on put a comment on the section. Where are you joining from? We'll be happy to hear from you guys as well. And you can tell us your expectations. Now, because the person who was supposed to be the key speaker, who is SEMIRA YESUFU, if the tech team will help us to present the bio for SEMIRA if it's ready. But SEMIRA, due to some unavoidable reasons, she got some emergency, therefore she cannot join us, but she did send a representative, another tech champion. She's called Hawa. So I would like to welcome Hawa to introduce herself and also to give a little bit of our introduction. Welcome, Hawa.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Hawa, and I'm speaking from Kano, Nigeria. And I'm here on behalf of SEMIRA YESUFU, the founder of Path for Her. I also lead socials at Path for Her presently, so I'm here to speak on behalf of her on our today's session, which are required skills for tech transition, which I feel is a very interesting but much needed discourse that we need to have, especially with the number of Africans that we have, especially young Africans that want to go into tech, want to build a career in tech. It's a very important discussion for us to have today. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Hawa, for joining us today. And I would like to tell the audience you can keep on sharing the comments. You can tell us where you're from, and you can tell us what are your expectations for joining this session. As for me, as I've said, I've introduced myself. I'm co-building the Mazingira Smart Tanzania, an initiative that aim to to promote safe environment for cleaner, greener, and healthier future through innovative solutions. Therefore, I'm aiming to learn a lot of skills today so that I can apply in whatever it is that I'm building to provide appropriate solutions that will help will promote the solution and save the environment that we're trying to protect in our daily activities. Therefore, I think all of you guys, you have some expectations here, so you can tell us on the comment section. So, Hawa, you can go ahead with the topic and you can go ahead with the presentation. Welcome, Hawa.
Hi, thank you again. So, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. So, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, we can see.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So today's session is based on the topic, the required skills you need for tech transition. So before we begin, I would like to see how many of you, you can just drop an emoji in the comment section, how many of you feel like you're ready to transition into tech or you have made the decision that you want to transition into tech. Can we see a few people signifying that? And also, what motivates you the most about building a career in tech? Like, why do you want to build a career in the tech industry? Why do you want to transition into the tech industry? That's one of the important questions to ask before we begin our session. So we're just going to move right into my short bio introduction. I've done one before, but yes, it's pivotal to this journey. So for me, one of the things that what motivated me to start into tech was in 2022 as a 200 level student in a Nigerian university, and I was very curious, and I didn't want my university, my time at the university, to just be about studying because I was studying. I studied political science, and I didn't really see it wasn't necessarily a marketable course, having to get a job and all. So I decided that I was going to transition into tech in order to be able to, make a career for myself as a Nigerian graduate. In 2022, I took my first course from what is now known as Google Skill Shop, but then it was Google Digital Garage for a digital marketing course, fundamentals. Tried my hands on other fields, data analysis, product management. I did a lot of things trying to transition into tech. And 2 years later, I currently work as a digital marketer. So I'll be talking about how to transition to tech using three major skill points that I've used in my journey into tech. So the first one is foundational skills. Yeah. So these are like the basic, I call them the bare minimum. So one of them is the basic computer literacy. Do you know how to, are you computer literate? Do you know how to operate a computer? Do you know how to turn on a computer? Do you know how to navigate a computer? It's very important. Um, I would call myself I mean, back in the days, we used to have to go to cafe. From what I remember, for people to back then when the whole computer thing was coming to Nigeria, people would go to cafes, learn how to use the computers. It was a actually a required thing for most jobs, but now like pretty much everybody knows how to use a computer. So knowing how to use a computer is important. Being computer literate is very important, and also how well you understand the digital landscape. We know how to, turn on a computer, but can you do basic things with it? Can you do things with the main software in a computer, which include mails? Can you send mails on a computer? Are you able to have meetings on a computer? Do you know how to, do virtual meetings? Those are foundational skills you need to know. For me here in Nigeria, we basically in school, in our high school, last year of high school, we had to do we there's an exam we do in the West African Examination Council, which is our A levels that we do, and part of the things we have to pass is our computer practicals, where we learn basic things of software on the computer, which includes Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Excel. So those are the important things. Do you know how to use those foundational tools on the computer? It's a very important question. So I would like to know anybody from Nigeria that can signify how many of us had to do computer practical. for like exams, because during my time it was very important. You had to pass that to, you know, get a certificate, pass your exams and get a certificate. Um, yeah, if there's anyone from Nigeria who knows what I'm talking about, please signify. So we move on. We're moving on to the next one, which are your technical skills. After learning how to, operate a computer, use the computer for basic stuff like sending emails, doing things, this is where this is the core of transitioning into tech. Do you know, like, what skills are required, especially in your chosen field? Now, this one is it's not a general thing, it's tailored. This is where, like, research becomes your best friend. If you're going into, for example, if you're going into want to be a software developer, you have to learn. But I do know the basic knowledge. I'm no software developer, but I know that you have to know at least one or two programming languages if you want to develop software and code and all of that. So this is where you need to research a lot. Google is your best friend. YouTube is also your best friend. Go on there, search for these days. TikTok is even your best friend. It's a very good search engine where you search on your basic interest. What would it require for you to? What skills do you need? What courses do you need? What certifications do you need to go into tech? These are the questions you would ask. So yeah, this is where you get to learn about what your choosing field is about. What does it require you to do? And this is also where you learn um, I Samira, according to Samira, she's always saying, and I say this too, research is your best friend. Research. There's so much information out there, especially now with us getting to have access to electronic devices. It's easy for you to just find information. Information is basically a tap away. So this is where, for my role, like for example, that if you remember my story, I mentioned I took a digital fundamental course from Google Skill Workshop, and what part of the reason I got to know that was because I researched. I didn't have money at that time to pay for courses, and I researched free courses. As a young girl, I didn't have much money to, pay for a course because most of them were in dollars, and then when you convert them to naira, they weren't. I couldn't really handle it. So I searched for free courses, and then I came across Google Digital Garage, and I took the course, and it was very one of the most, it's a fundamental course, but it became one of the most, like, became my core of being like getting into digital marketing. So research, know what courses you require. If you need certification courses, know how to take them, if you even if you don't have, let's say you don't have the resources, you need to pay for a course, you don't have the resources, even if you're requesting for assistance, it's easy for you to tell whoever you're requesting of assistance, it's easy for them to tell that you're very serious because you've made your research, you've done your assignment, you know what you need to do, you know what you will get out of this course. So it's very important to research on your to develop technical skills that are important to your role. So we're moving on to skill point three, which this is the last, but it's very important. It's as important as the first and second because this is what keeps you. If you when you finally learn the main things that has to do with being in your tech role, this is what keeps you in that tech role. This is what makes you set your path, keeps you ahead. So in tech, mastering the hard skills is very essential, but soft skills are equally important. They help you work efficiently in teams and adapt to tech industry is a fast paced one. So you have to be willing to adapt. You have to know how to adapt. And soft skills are part of what help you to adapt to these tech roles. One of them includes problem solving. Tech, the reason why there's tech, the reason why we see startups, we see people building softwares, they are to solve a problem. So you have to, as a person in tech, you have to be very problem solving. You have to know how to solve it, but you have to be able to identify a problem. And you might not have all the answers, but you should be able to arrive at the point where, oh, yeah, I'm going to work on a solution and see. You should know how this problem can be solved. And a second one is adaptability. tech industry is always evolving. We can see it with AI. AI, taking over a little things that humans were required to do, and there's this whole thing that it's going to take over a lot of people's jobs. I don't know how true that is, but I do know that if you're adaptable, you can AI will not take over your job. AI will not take over your role because if there's the people that use these AI tools are human beings. So if you know how to advance yourself, don't just stop at learning one thing and say, "Oh, I have the certification. Yes, this is right." Even as a professional, you will have to keep taking courses. You have to keep learning new tools, and all of that. You need to be adaptable. You need to you need to be adaptable. You need to know how to adapt to change. Change should not shake you too much. You should be able to, keep your cool and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep my head down and learn this. So another one is teamwork. Most startups, they all start with a team. Even if it's two persons, it's a team. You have to, most tech projects, is a team. It's the reason why we have tech roles, spread across different fields. There's no one person carrying tech on their head.
Hi. We are really very sorry. I think we are losing Hawa because of the network, but she will be joining us very soon. I hope you are enjoying the session. For me, I'm learning the soft skills here about problem solving. Yes, we have adaptability. You see the emerging technologies every day, as Hawa has told us. Therefore, we need to to adapt to um, different things. Therefore, we need to be flexible and to adapt to new environment and to new technology that is emerging, but also to adapt to new skills so that we can compete in this competitive world. And also about teamwork. Therefore, as Hawa, okay, welcome back, Hawa, because we
Sorry, there
were,
was a technical issue. Network as usual. So,
yeah,
okay, where was I? Sorry, let me present my screen
about the
again.
soft skills. So you were talking about the soft skills.
Yes, I was talking about the soft skills. So I don't know when last you heard me, but I was talking about teamwork where I noticed my camera just turned off. So
Oh,
I was talking about teamwork, being able to work in teams, being able to collaborate, being able to understand the dynamics of working with people, because you're not just building products, you're not just marketing products, you're not just coding, you're also there are various people involved in these processes. So for my understanding, like if you're building a software, it is usually developer involved, the guy the person that codes, and then we have the product manager, we have the marketer, we have the content person that promotes the product on various platforms. So you have to learn how to work with people. You have to learn how to communicate. If it's via email, if you're communicating face to face, you have to learn how to communicate. You have to if you're having a problem, it's important for you to communicate. In tech, it's even important for you to over communicate. There's nothing like under communicating. If you need to say every minute detail for people to know, it's also one way to help you remain very visible in your role, because it's easy for you to say, oh, I'm just doing my job, I'm just going to do my job and go, like, I'm not going to. But it's important for you to talk. It's important. It helps people gauge your impact. It helps people see your impact. It helps people recognize that you're actually putting in the work, which is important in tech industries, because people want to know that, especially employers want to know that they're getting it right with the cost at which they are employing you or having to employ you. So it's also one way to stand out on interviews. The soft skills, it's a very big way You can have all the results in your portfolio and everything, but people want to see, even HR want to see if you're a good person to work with. If not, and not necessarily by good, it doesn't mean easy or maybe a walkover, but if you're a good person to work with, if you know how to handle people relationships, especially at work, it's important to have that as someone trying to transition into tech. So we are moving on to the. Oh, but do we have any questions? I would be happy to answer them before we, move on to the next one. Do we have any questions about what I've talked about? Do we have any concerns or any questions?
I really don't see question right here, but you can proceed, Howard. Then during the uh, I mean the question and answer section, you can answer all the questions.
Okay, okay. So I said I was going to talk about three skill points, so I'm just going to, people, especially at this event, people don't really say one, two, three, and then just sleep. I'm going to add an extra tip. So, transitioning into tech, yes, you might learn all these skills. You might learn the hard technical skills, foundational skills, soft skills, but it's all about continuity. Tech is always evolving. It's a moving trade, and I don't exactly see an endpoint for it yet at the moment, in present day. So being consistent is one of the way, like you stay in tech. You is the key to actually thriving in tech. With your learning, like I said before, you don't learn one thing. You don't maybe get one certification course and say, oh, that's it. I'm done. I've learned this. Yeah, there's no need for me. New technologies are always coming up every day. You need to know these things. You need to be up to date. So learning, continuously acquiring knowledge, even the one that you feel doesn't concern you, it's very good, especially as most tech roles are intersectional. You might have to deal with things that you feel like are not primarily your role, but they require you to, have those things to learn. And also networking. It's very important. It's very important to network. And I'm not going to say this that it's easy because no, I'm a very introverted person. I shy away from anything that involves me talking to people or trying to sell myself out there. It feels very, I don't know, but it's important. Like if but you're an introvert, you don't want to directly maybe go up to people and communicate with them. This is one is for my introvert people. You can participate in tech communities and forums. There's a bunch of tech communities out there today. There's every for every career there is a tech community. You can search the least talked about career and you would see a community for it. You can never run out of spaces that have people like you trying to transition in a role with people like you. It's one of the things we do at Path for Her. We although our niche is on no code, we do roles that don't involve coding for people that want to transition into tech. That's what we do. We have a community, we have a newsletter where we communicate with people and share resources and all of that. So participating in tech communities like that, especially ones with your area of focus, it's a good opportunity for networking and growth. Because let's say you're participating in the tech communities, there are questions asked. They ask you questions, or somebody drops, "Oh, I'm having this problem. Can you give me some tips?" You talk to that person, you become very visible in these places. And then when something comes up for that particular problem you solved, and people are thinking about, oh, who do I recommend to solve this? You'll be surprised at what opportunity can come for you from those spaces. You'd be very surprised. And one thing about tech is another tip is don't stop at learning. You also have to apply your knowledge. Applying your knowledge is like in Nigerian terms, showing evidence. You have to show evidence of your knowledge. You can say, oh, you learned this, you have a certification in this. But how does that apply? How do you show that to people? You can, yeah, you can show them a certificate, fine and good. But you have to show that what you learned, you have actually done it and you have actually seen that it works. And so one of the ways you can do that includes let's say you one of the your role or focus is in the design. It could be product design, it could be brand design, it could be graphic design. For you want to apply that, you're applying for a role at a tech company, you have to have it. That's why having a portfolio is important. You don't even need to have to work on real life projects. That's why it's your portfolio. You have to make it what you want it to be. You can come up with hypothetical situations you're trying to solve. Let's say you are a product designer. You can redesign websites that you feel need adjustments. It's one of the ways that you get to show that you know what you're doing. You design these things as a product designer. For marketers, you can start building your own community little by little, show how you know how to impact people with your knowledge. It's one of the things you show on your portfolio, and it's one way to fully be grounded in tech and also you excel at any interview. Basically, it's one of the ways to stand out. Most people these days ask for your portfolio. They don't even want to know what you tell them on the resume, because it's basically you telling them, but your portfolio is you showing them. So it's very important to apply your knowledge. You don't have to wait for real life projects. You can volunteer your services. You can also build solutions. You can build your portfolio around hypotheses. You can come up with a situation. If you want to work in, just come up with something and solve it. It's all about problem solving in tech and showing that you can solve problems. And yeah, it's time for questions. Are there any questions about what we've spoken so far? Anything?
Thank you so much, Hawa, for the very nice presentation. I really learned a lot of things and I've really enjoyed. I hope everyone here have enjoyed. So, guys, you're really welcome to put the question on the comment section, but I'll start reading out some of the question here for you, Hawa. There's one question which is, how can one get good fast and become job ready?
Okay, like I've said, becoming job ready, it's also what makes you stand at our interviews. Fast, I won't really put a time. Yeah, it's good to have a timeline on what you need to do, but I would say to not be in a rush. Take your time and do what you need to do well. Take courses, participate in group projects. You can find these in when you join communities that are your area of focus. They usually, most of them, organize challenges where you participate in groups, show your solutions, put that all in your portfolio, apply for jobs, and it makes you stand out as a candidate. Just equipping yourself with your portfolio, your proof of work, and your education, your certifications. Fast, it's always good to put a timeline on things and to want things done at a particular time and fast. But I won't say it's something that you don't need to rush. Just take your time, put in the work, and your way to success, to being job ready. Being job ready, exactly.
Thank you so much, Hawa, for the very, very nice answer. We need to engage with people and we need uh, to interact, to communicate, to do a lot of
Yes.
things and get ready to for the job that is next for you. So there is another question here. How can I demonstrate my tech skills to potential employers if I don't have formal experience?
Okay, this is what we talked about. You don't need to have a formal experience to build your portfolio, to show your proof of work. You don't need to work for a company. One of the ways you can do that is volunteer your services to people that might need them. Especially LinkedIn is a great place to find people that want you to volunteer your roles. And for most volunteer roles, they take entry level. They take people with no experiences, because it's part of they equip you to be job ready, to show your proof of work. And another thing, like I said, is to you can build around an hypothesis. You don't need to have formal experience. You don't need to have formal experience. Like in my role as a digital marketer, I'm going to use that as an example. I didn't exactly manage pages. I didn't exactly have like this thing, but I took one of the things I featured on my portfolio to get my first ever role is by taking I because I started in social media management. It's by taking social media pages that I recognized I could put my skills into and make them better and highlighting them on my portfolio and stating out my solutions, my ideas, how I would go about it, how I would go about these ideas, solving this problem for this particular person's social media page. So it's one of the ways to showcase your work. You can build around an hypothesis, find a problem. It's all about identifying a problem that you can solve in your role and have that, draw down your ideas. Nobody says you have to work on a real project. Build around your ideas, show them. It's basically about show people how your mind works. That's how you can show your proof of work without formal experience. You have ideas, put them down, showcase them. If you can do a presentation, draw up a chat, it's yeah, you're on your way to showing your work effortlessly.
Thank you so much, Hawa, for that very nice response. I would add a Pareto from there. You can also be ready to volunteer because you not all the time the employer will be ready to employ you, but you can be ready to do some community works to engage yourself to any open activity that you can be available to do, not necessarily to be paid for, because that way you're going
Yes,
to build your yes you're going to build your CV. You have to be willing to do those volunteering job for you to, I mean, to be recognized. Because if you just stay and you don't want to, I mean,
yeah,
go out there and grab some things that you can do because you want to be paid, then you'll just stay there forever. So you need to do something so that you can be
yes.
seen. Yes. Thank you so much, Howard. There's another question here. So
Okay,
guys, you can keep on put the question on the comment section, but also you can tell us what have you learned from this session as well. Yes. So there's another question from Jenny. Jenny is saying, apply your knowledge. You don't have to wait for real life opportunities. Yes, Jenny is very right.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to do that so that you can be seen and people can know your skills. There's another question here. How long does it take to go from learning a tech skills to securing a job in the field?
Hmm. Okay. Like I said, there's no timeline to that. It's about the work you put in, not the time that you've put in the work.
Yeah.
If studying a course takes you
Mm,
8 weeks,
mm,
okay, yes, it will take you 8 weeks to study the course. You finish in 8 weeks. It might take you a month to maybe build up your portfolio, apply those knowledges, like I said, and then applying for jobs. There's no set timeline. It's according to your okay, for example, most marketing courses they might take a month, 2 months. But let's say you want to go in a field as, let's say, intense as coding. I'm very sure they don't take a month. While trying to transition into tech, I took some courses in data analysis because I was trying to figure out what to do. And tech is all about figuring it out. I took 3 months for that course. Meanwhile, for a marketing course, I took just 2 months. So there is no set timeline. But I would say if you're going by my timeline, then 2 years, it's enough to below or within 2 years or below 2 years, it's enough for you to get a role, learn, apply your knowledge, and get a role in tech. If we're going by my experience, yes, because I did start this in 2022. And I was also in 2022, I volunteered my services for Path for Her, which I'm doing now. And it has opened up doors and opportunities. So, yes.
Thank you so much, Hal, for that. I'm happy to hear that you volunteered for yourself as well. We have a question here from Dennis. What social implications should be considered during a tech transition?
I'm going to try and see if I get your questions. Social implications. You do. you do end up staying inside a lot because you're learning. You don't it's why people say, okay, tech people have a reputation for being introverts, because it's easy to work in tech without having to actively, be out there going to a place of work, because you learn everything online.
Mm.
Works, you do them online. So I would say the social implication would be being indoors more and just being a homebody. Yes, there's no bad side to it, but yes.
Wow, thank you so much. When you want to learn something, you need to dedicate yourself to give up the
Mm,
time for. So the social implication will be that when if you are the person who is very extrovert, then you need to be an introvert as well to get time for yourself to learn. There's a question here: how does one get rid of tech freight?
hmm. Okay. I don't really get the question, but I'm going to answer it as much as I understand it.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's like a hesitation with going into tech, right?
Mm.
Um, One advice, I'm just going to use Nike's tagline: just do it. Just do it. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. Just do it. Just go
Mm.
ahead and do it. I'm not the best. I wouldn't say I'm the best model for doing
You.
things, because I know how much I hesitate on things, because I do want it to be perfect. Sometimes you want things to be perfect for you. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Just go
Mm.
into it. Do it. If you can start learning the basics, if you can't learn the whole thing, do it. Learn the basic knowledge. If it's only videos you can watch, and you can't maybe do courses for now and maybe do practicals on it, watch videos, just learn about it, just do it, just do it. Don't be you have nothing to lose. Basically, you have not, if anything, you have something to gain. Even if you don't end up, let's say I'm having a career in that role, no knowledge is lost in tech. No knowledge is lost in tech. Being a generalist is very important. So you have nothing to lose. Just go ahead, learn, take that course, participate in that. Just do it. Just do it.
Thank you so much, Hawa. And I can add up there. Tech can be hard sometimes because you are trying to solve a problem. Sometimes the solution that you're trying to provide or to develop cannot be the realistic solution. Therefore, you might use much of your time to develop that solution, but at the end of the day, it's not work. Therefore, I think you need to be courageous enough to move on and to kill on, as sometimes you might use much of your time to develop the solution, but that solution might not be the the appropriate solution for that. But you're not supposed to give
Exactly.
years to. You should keep on going. I'm saying that because as I've said on my introduction, I am co-build. Oh, there's a question here. How best can one balance a full-time job and exploring other opportunities?
It's all about good time management. It's all about good time management and compartmentalizing your priorities. And presently, I do have a full time job in digital marketing, but I'm taking a course to develop myself, to advance myself. And one of the things I do is I slot out time. I use time blocking for it. This is very, like, it's very easy now, Seth, with digital tools like Google Calendar. You can have it creates a and Google Task create a checklist of what you need to do. Dedicate certain hours of the day. Do you do this better during the day? Do you do this better during at night? It's very essential for you to know that and to be able to manage your time. I wish I could talk lengthy on that, but I feel like I don't really remember much. But there's a matrix of priority where it's a four corner graph. I learned it recently, where you have to prioritize things. Are they important? Do they have implications? That way you put your work into, like, when you can effectively do it. Like for me, I do my full time job during the day because the office hours are during the day, and I do my learning a few hours into the night. And most tech courses are designed to be that way. They allow you to take it at your own pace. All you have to do is find time for it. They are usually, like deadlines where you have to take it at a certain time, but they allow you to take it bit by bit. You just have to find time for it, prioritize, just sort out your priorities, allocate time, and it's good enough for you to be taking a having a full job opportunity and also pursuing digital skills. And it's virtual, so it's I won't say it's easy, but it's easier to manage your time than having to learn something physically. So
Thank you so much, Howard. There's another question here from Dennis. How does tech transition differ from digital transformation or technical innovations?
Um, so tech transition involves you as a person trying to transition into tech, trying to transition into a place in tech, trying to be one of, build a career, have a role in tech. And digital transformation, I think it has to do with products, sorry, that people come up with, digital solutions. Um, let's say when people develop let me talk about the fintech scene in Nigeria. It's one way you can highlight digital transformation. The fintech scene in Nigeria has transformed how people manage their money and do business and send their money across people. So I think that's digital. I'm trying to answer the question how I see it best. But yes, tech transitions can come from, you can transition from a non-tech background to a tech background. It involves you as a person trying to build a career in tech. While digital transformation involves, building products, building solutions that would one day become very useful to people. Okay, I think we lost Nelly. Okay. So, if there are any more questions, you can keep them coming. Thank you, Aduko. Thank you, Gladys. Thank you. Okay, she's back.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Sorry.
Network, network problem. But I'm
Network
back.
problem.
Yes, everywhere in Africa, the
Mhm.
same. Okay. I don't see any question. How can you see the questions?
No, I did see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you to Casinda. I saw something there, but I haven't seen any questions apart from the one I just answered.
Okay, so guys, you can continue putting on the questions on the chat box, and also you can tell us if you have enjoyed the session and if it has met your expectations, or if the takeaways, what have you learned from the session as well. You can put on the chat box. Yes, I would like to maybe add up on one of the questions we were asked about um, how can you one person said, "How can you have a full-time job but also take time to do the is tech transition or to learn the skills on tech transition?" One of the things I've learned from Howard's presentation on the soft skills, she said that you need to have problem-solving skill, but adaptability as well as there was one thing she mentioned about
Teamwork.
teamwork. Now you cannot do anything. You cannot do everything for yourself. You need to team up with people. Myself, as I've introduced, I'm working for Tanzania Road Corporation. We're building the standard gauge level. So it's a very big project here in Tanzania. It's a very exciting time to be here in Tanzania to see those transformation, infrastructure transformation. But also, I dedicate my time to volunteer, co-building the startup which is known as Smart. This startup aims to solve environments. So we're trying to solve different environmental problems, but trying to
Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I think we lost Nelly again. Thank you. Thank you. I would ask the organizers if there's a way to share it. I'd be happy to share it with you. Okay. Yeah, those are the skills we covered in the presentation. I would say the ones that I must have are the one that I must have are your technical skills and your soft skills. You need to your soft skills are important. Soft skills are important. And like she was talking about problem solving, you have to know how to solve problems. You also have to be adaptable. Tech is all about adaptability. You have to be able to know how to use a certain tool, know how to use tools, know how to use a new tool. The new tool comes out that is related to your field, you have to know how to use it. It's very important for you to be adaptable. You have to be up to date. Yeah, we can't entirely be up to date because I mean it's hard to keep up, especially in the tech industry. There's so many things going on at the same time. So you need to be adaptable and you need to be able know how to solve problems, be problem solving oriented. It's an important skill. Those are a must have in tech. Learning how to knowing how to use tech tools are also important, especially ones that relate to your field. They are very important. They must have knowing how to use your working with your tools and problem solving. Yeah, I think for me those are the must haves transitioning into tech. Hi Nelly, sorry.
I'm very
Network
sorry,
was
guys. Network problem again, but I can maybe continue for where I was left. I was saying so I was trying to explain about teamwork when I was
mm,
saying that I'm working for a full-time job, but also I'm trying to co-build the the startup. I'm not doing it on my own. I'm doing it with a team, and I'm not doing the tech transition alone because I cannot do it all the job alone. Therefore, you need to collaborate with people. You need to uh, find people who align with what you want to do and then collaborate to do something together. For me, I
mm,
would like to appreciate my team here because I have a very good team, I can say. That's why I'm trying to speak about the power of teamwork because in my team we have different skills. Myself, I am an environmental engineer. Maybe I can point out some of the problems, the environmental problems, and maybe try to figure out a solution, environmental solution to that problem. But I have a person who is a software developer, so he can develop something out for us. We have a roadmap. This is how it's supposed to be. Then the software developer is going to develop something for us. Therefore, you cannot do all the thing on your own. There's another person who is good in another thing, maybe on public speaking and whatsoever. Myself, I'm not. I'm an introvert as well. I don't like speaking,
mm.
but I'm just trying to do it because you need to speak, as I've said. You need to communicate so that you can be seen and you can be heard, and people can know that you're existing and what you're doing is one and so and so. So if you don't
Yeah.
speak out, I'm trying to speak out because I have to, but it's not the matter that it's not like the thing that I like. I don't like to.
Exactly.
Yes.
I can
Therefore,
relate.
yes, you need to force yourself to do it so that um, you can, you can be seen, you can be heard, and you can make a change because you cannot make some changes alone or quietly. You need to, if you cannot speak by word, you need to speak by actions as well. Therefore, that's it. So what Hawa has presented is very important. I think it has reminded me the importance of having those soft skills which are very important in developing solution and in doing some transformation, the tech transformation and the tech transition and everything that we're trying to do in our communities. So guys, if you have any other question, you can put on the chat box, but also you can also tell us what you've learned and if it has met your expectations. Um, would you like to have the speakers' handles so we follow them on social medias? Oh, so how can you give out your social media name?
Okay, so you would find me, I'm most visible on LinkedIn at
Oh,
Hawa Abdullahi. Yes.
yeah,
I can also, sorry, let me try to see if I can bring that up. I don't know if there's a way I can share the link, but yes, Hawa Abdullahi on LinkedIn. And you can also, in the meantime, you can also follow Pat for Her. we're at Pat for Her HQ on Instagram. We're all about spotlighting like no code opportunities for women across Africa. If you want to go into tech, you feel coding is hard. Oh, I can't do coding. It's all about, it's okay. There are many roles. There are many roles you can excel in tech. And that's what we do at Pat for Her. You can follow us at Pat for Her HQ on Instagram. We are Pat for Her HQ everywhere: Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I can go ahead and spell it: PATH, then the number four, then HERQ. So we are Pat for Her HQ, Pat for Her HQ on Instagram. And I'm also Hawa Abdullahi on LinkedIn. So yeah. If you need more clarification on it, I can do it. I can say the handles again. Yeah.
Thank you so much, How. I'm going to follow you on LinkedIn as well, and I'm also going to follow Path for Her
Thank
HQ.
you.
But also, I would like if we can corroborate. You are from Nigeria, we are from Tanzania. We can get to
Sure.
learn.
Definitely.
We can also use our platform, the startup that you're building, Mazingira Smart Tanzania. We can collaborate with Path4 and learn from you guys.
Yeah,
As
exactly. You can
okay,
always send me email. It's no
yeah,
problem.
thank you. So myself, I'm also available on LinkedIn as Nelly Mleleo. As you can see my name here. I'm also on Instagram as MS Nelvik. Okay. Yes, but also I'm using Mazingira Smart Tanzania, where, as I've said, we are co-building it. So most of the activities which are very important are aired on that platform. So you can follow Mazingira Smart Tanzania. Mazingira is a Swahili word for environment. Therefore, you are welcome, guys, to follow us, and you can reach out to us for any other project that you want to collaborate with us, or you want to learn from us, or you have a suggestion. Yes, and yeah, you are very welcome. So I think we have 8 minutes to time, and if you have any questions, guys, we can give out the on the chat box, or you can tell us your expectations as well. If we have met your expectations, yes. And but also, if you didn't get to see the yesterday's event, we had the career fair
Hi,
yesterday. We had different
network
speakers.
again.
Oh, very
Sorry.
sorry. Very sorry. So we had a career fair yesterday, and there were amazing speakers. If you missed out, you can just check on the Tower platform, YouTube. There you can learn from them, but also you should not leave the stage because there are other sessions to follow. So you can stay here and get to learn on the next session because, as you've seen, these are very important to build our career, to build our professional life, to engage with people, as well as to do the change or transformation that we want to do in our communities or in our career. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. But you are allowed to pop out the question that you have in mind, but also you are allowed to tell us if you have enjoyed the session as well, and if we have met your expectation. How do you have anything to add up or to say, because we are about to end the session in 7 minutes?
Okay, just a little motivational talk.
Mm.
There's no there's no linear way to go. There's no one way. It doesn't have to be perfect. I took a courses that were not related in the field I'm currently working now to get to where I am. So it's okay to try out things. It's okay to try out one thing, things a lot if you need to find, because it's important to find your interest. It's yes, it's the money is important, the opportunity is important, but it's also important for interest. And if it takes you trying out different things to figure that out, that's okay. And it's also very okay to feel frustrated, especially if you have a timeline or working out the way you want it. It just that you're putting in the work, and it's human to want to see results. But I want you to know that you've got this and will eventually pay off. long as your pay off.
Okay, thank you so much, Hawa. Um, I think the audience has no any more questions, and we would like to end this session. But I would like to tell everyone to stay for the next session because we have the next session to about in about 5 minutes to come. Therefore, stay guys to for the next session, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. And if you missed the yesterday session, you can just check on the YouTube channel for the career fair event for the yesterday so that you can learn from the previous speakers as well. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll say goodbye. Yes, bye bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.